Watch my last video and you loved it, you'll probably be interested in watching this one because this is a continuation of the last video. In my last video, I spoke about how I present my mood board concept to my clients using a real life case study, that's BTB Tech. So this video is a continuation of that, where I show you the actual logo presentation I did for the client and just walk you through the whole presentation. And special shout out to Nanim for always watching and dropping a comment on my video. I seriously do not take your support for granted, and thank you for requesting that I actually upload a part 2 of this video. Thank you so much for the moral support. So now let's get right into the video. Just as I explained during the mood board video on why it is brief, it also applies to this same video, that's the logo presentation. And I do not know how many pages this presentation is because it's just one long artboard. I just kept increasing my artboard. I didn't do it into pages, so I don't really know, but it's not that much. So from the first page, the logo presentation, you can already tell the concept that the client went for. The client went for concept 2. They appreciated the first concept, but they were not willing to test waters with purple as a color. They were much comfortable with using blue, and very much comfortable using blue. So we just went for the second concept, that's the depth of color and logo direction and everything else. Herein lies 2 major design and a bonus one. So I have concept 1, concept 2, and bonus. Now, mind you, this is the first time I'm actually creating 3 logo options for a client. I never do that. The max I do is 2. So obviously, while designing, I have multiple options that I've created already, and I go through them. I reach out to my fellow designers to see which is my best shot to put forward, and just give them 2 options. But this one, I did the same process, and I saw what my friends were gravitating towards. That's my designer friends were gravitating towards. But I just feel you know what, let me just put 3 because I wasn't feeling what they were feeling. So yeah. So the concept 1. So this is the first concept I have, the primary logo, the full primary logo. We have the beyond the box technology. We have the icon here. So the next page is the logo rationale. I said here that the concept for this logo focuses on ideas, innovation, and collaboration, giving a more human-focused approach to the overall identity. The logo overall takes a subtle shape of a bulb, housing a literal box, and having the top part of the bulb radiate outside of the box, signaling non-conformity to the box, aka safe options, but rather best options. The box also houses 2 Venn diagrams, which signifies collaboration and always putting the client need forward with careful consideration. So let me just pause here now and just talk to you directly like the designer. So one of the main things that we discussed before I went to design is that they already had a logo, but they want it to be reimagined. They want it to be more improved upon. So they want the literal box and the bulb. So this is the picture of their initial logo. I mean, it's okay. I really like it. So they want it to be a more refined, more compact. And the client also showed me what they had made with AI, which is kind of also not bad. So I just thought that, okay, what do I do for reimagine, also keeping both elements, keeping both the box and the bulb? How do I merge them together? And when I was designing this logo here, I went through so much refinement, especially that Venn diagram as in mid. There was a lot going on there that I had to reduce. So let's just go back to the presentation. As you can see, I retained the concept which you talked about, keeping the box and the bulb. How else can I merge them together? So if you see here on this next page on the colors, I have the icon on solid blue background just alone, and the icon with the beyond the box technology stacks. I know you don't want it stacked, but this is just a variation. Like I said, a logo is not just one. You must have multiple variations of your logo for it to work. So this is not that's not just what you're getting. I'm just showing you how it works when it is stacked. You also see how it works when it is horizontal, but that's just it. So it's pretty much simple and straightforward. We have the rays of light. If you look at the bulb very well, it also takes a shape of, if you look at the icon very well, sorry, it takes a shape of a bulb with that little foot showing out and compacting the bulb. So that's what we have for the logo, the full logo suite and the logo icon. So for the typeface, as we have agreed earlier, to use like a smooth sans serif font, I feel like this font goes well with what we are working for. It's not too futuristic, it's just perfect. And it comes in 9 different font size. So we have like the extra light, the light, the regular, the medium, the semi-bold, the bold, black. Basically, you can see it comes in all numericals. So this is the colors. We have the solid colors, and I also created the colors to what it will look like in gradient. So you might want to also explore gradient option for the color. It also works well. So we have on the right side, we have like the deeper blue and the lighter blue, how well it works together. And we also have like the milk color with the light blue color, how well it works together. So the next thing I'm going to show you is just how it works on like real life mock-ups, like what it will look like basically. So I have it on the mock-up here on embossed. This is how it looks. And we also have like the ID card. So if you were to do like a ID card for yourself or any of your members, now you can see how it is stacked horizontally. Not horizontally, I think vertically. This is what we call vertically, yes. So earlier I showed you how it is stacked horizontally, and I let you know that I know you have like a bit of bias, like you don't really fancy logos that are stacked horizontally. So this is what it looks like when it's stacked vertically. So we have the icon and the logo at the back. You would also notice that I use the icon, like the head of the bulb. That's the bulb. I also use it like to make like some design on the bottom part of the ID card, so of the business card. So these are ways that the icon could be further explored or used in marketing assets or print assets. So you can also see the tote bag version too. This is how it looks like if you want to stack it on the tote bag. Then on lanyards, this is how it works on tiny spaces like lanyards. Then I also have this A4 letterhead, and you can also notice that on the jacket of the letterhead, the bulb also made an appearance there. So these are ways that the icon could be utilized, could be, you know, can be used in photography, used in like the usage of this icon is endless. So I just have the beyond the box like wordmark logo just on the side, and you can also see how the wordmark, not wordmark, apologies, the logo mark also work as an app icon. So that's it for the first concept. Now to concept 2. This is what we have for concept 2. This is the full primary logo, and this is the logo rationale behind it. I said this concept derives its essence from microchip circuit board pattern that morphs into a maze, and the maze evokes problem solving, complexity, and system, which align well with with consulting and tech. So this imagery associated to tech, it also signals like innovation, and the maze clear pathway implies solution oriented. So these are where I drew my inspiration from for this second logo. So the for this one I have like 2 different variations, because the first one, you can see the first one is just the logo mark. That's the logo mark on its own. That's like the maze and the chip port is just there. And because the chip, like this logo mark cannot really work well in smaller spaces. It cannot work well, like say you want to use it as an app icon, you want to place it like a web icon. It can't really work well. Like it should just look like a box, because you can't see the patterns, like the circuits clearly. I tried to make like an option as a version 2 of the logo. That's why we have the second one that has like the same circuit board, but it has like the BTB tech in the middle there. So that would also work well in small places. Then we also have the logo like stacked horizontally. So the one I showed earlier was this stacked vertically. Now I'm so sorry, I'm going to be mixing up my vertically horizontally, but please just bear with me and follow along. So that's what we have for for the concept 2. And the typography that I went for this one is called Ikasami Sans. This is more sleek. It just goes well with the beyond the bold, this concept 2 logo. But this typeface comes in only 4 fonts. So we have the regular, the medium, the semi-bold, and the bold. This is what it looks like when it comes to mock-up. We have the tote bag. So if you look closely at the tote bag, if you like, let's zoom in on the one beneath, you can see that it has that maze pattern on it. So these are stuff that you could also like explore in terms of like use for print. The pattern looks good, can be used well for print. So that's what we have, and this is how it looks online. Yeah, so it works well if it's just stacked or if it's just single stripped. And this is the app icon I spoke to you about, it looks like very more attention grabbing than if we were to use the original logo mark. So for the bonus concept, we have this full logo stacked. So the keywords here are idea, light bulb, transparency, forward thinking, chevron. So this is how it looks like when it is like, you know, the words are stacked and it is placed horizontally. So this idea, this concept is just like another version of the bulb and the box idea, just meshed together but redefined in another way. So the chevron, the box is placed in a way that it forms a chevron. That chevron is like, is forward, like it's what you think when it comes to like AI. Like AI is always ever evolving. Tech is a fast-paced industry, just always going forward. That's where the idea of the chevron comes from the box. And we also have like the brand initials, that's the BTB in it. And if you look closely, if we zoom in, like I had this bulb on the B, so this is just more like a Easter egg that you have to look for. It is not necessarily put there to like grab your attention at first. So that's what I have for this bonus concept, and this is just how it works when placed on like both vertically and stacked. These are the mock-ups that I just chose for it, very minimal. So we have the usual like embossed card, we have like the lanyards, we have the business cards, and we have the icon card. You can see how well it works as an icon. So it works well in small places and it works well on like when enlarged. So that's just what we have for beyond the box. If you are curious as to which concept the client chose, the client went with the bonus concept. So they liked the first concept, the concept one, but they fear it looks more robotic. So while I'm just seeing it as a logo mark, they feel like it looks like a mascot. It looks very techy and they don't want their brand to feel that way. So that one's like no. Second one was they weren't really buying into it, and the bonus one was, like I said, the one they went for, but they add like a little refinement they want to it, which I did, and we just wrap up the project nicely and sweetly. So this is the end of this case study one. Hopefully I would put out more case study, and you know, if you missed the first one I uploaded, you can just rewatch it here. And if you want to see some other like case study that I've done, you can also watch this rebranding of remote candles, which I walked you through earlier last year.